Wearing number 25, the Frank Beamer 25, is P.J. Prelude. And he'll watch this kick from Jake Weinberg sail over his head. And Kyron Drones, 3-year starter for the Hokies. You know, we talked briefly in the open about the different styles. What does Virginia Tech want to do in terms of running the football to set up the deep pass? Maybe that's a little bit different than what FSU does.
Yeah, you see that mark, almost 500 yards rushing. That almost leads this team. He does lead the team, Kyron Drones does, in carries. So there's a steady dose of the quarterback run game, and it's very much a difference in the past 2 years. You know, Kyron Drones has been starting now his 3rd year here. Years past, it was more of a traditional quarterback that had the ability to run. This year, it's very much featuring his legs play in and play out.
Marcellous Hawkins is the back, flag down immediately.
False start, offense, number 62, 5-yard penalty, it's first down.
The center, Kyle Altuner, not on the same page with Drones, and referee Nate Black already getting involved.
That's a nightmare penalty on the first play. It's oftentimes a play you've practiced half a dozen times, if not more, every single walkthrough all week. To be on the road in this atmosphere after a bye week, long time off, not the way you want to start.
Drones rolling the pocket to throw on first down. Behind his intended receiver, that was to Kai Heath. And it goes incomplete. Drones has a bevy of skill position talent around him.
Yeah, it's not necessarily going to be a receiver one setup, but they got Heath, Selden, and Green. Selden's more the fly sweep guy there. Terrion Stewart's their running back, as well as Marcellous Hawkins. It's very much skill player by committee. It runs through Kyron Drones, but he needs the guys around him to step up to fully unlock this offense.
Tight end Gosnell in motion. Hawkins has room around the left side. Picks up a first down, still on his feet toward midfield, still rumbling into Florida State territory. Down at the 37, Marcellous Hawkins with the big run. Ashland Barker finally brought him down, but getting the acknowledgement from the Hokie sideline, 40 yards downfield.
It's a nice run by Hawkins there. It all starts with the motion by Benji Gosnell, the tight end. Finds Florida State out of alignment, not gap sounded, and not tackling at all. The broken tackles. Marcellous Hawkins breaking those tackles, getting to the 3rd level and making up for that false start that started this drive.
No scrimmage from the 40. Drones fakes it to Hawkins, now looking downfield, going deep, trying to get it to Green. He loses footing and it's picked. Jerry Wilson picks him off, and the first turnover of the day forced by the Noles. And of course, Daryl Jackson was the one who pressured Drones into throwing it up for grabs.
This is what both offenses want to be. Run the rock so you can call deep shots down the field. Jerry Wilson, his 5'10" corner who's having to step up. Jabril Rawls, their other corner, is out this game, so he's going to be the main corner. You just lose your footing if you're Aiden Green. Excellent job tracking the football by Wilson, coming down with it, and to have that come the play after a big run play to stop the negative momentum is a huge moment for this Florida State defense.
So the Noles and Tommy Castellanos will scrimmage from their own 5 after the 11th pick on the season for the Florida State defense. Give the Sawchuck. He can't get very far at all. Maybe picks up a half a yard. Isaiah Brown Murray, IBM, making the tackle. There's Castellanos' season numbers.
Yeah, they love the makeup of him. Leadership-wise, been battled up much of the past month, but you would never know. Taking a lot of hits. Seeing the rushing yards there, his legs are very much a factor. I think the difference is a little bit more of capable from the pocket, throwing the ball, getting through progressions compared to Kyron Drones. But again, both these offenses want to run the quarterback.
And now under center, again gives it to Sawchuck up the middle. Brought down after a gain of about 7.
It's a backfield for Florida State that's going to feature 4 or 5 running backs. We talked with Gus Malzahn yesterday and said he's used to having a 1A, 1B type of setup. This is very much running back by committee, but just like for Virginia Tech. Whoever can establish the run, that's what opens up the passing attack later on in the game.
That was actually Keziah Holmes who ran that ball. Castellanos here keeping it himself, picking up the first down.
Florida State offensively got some weapons out wide. We've talked about Duce Robinson, squirrel right, the transfer from Tennessee. Randy Pittman came from UCF with Malzahn. They love him at tight end. And then a bunch of different running backs. The true freshman, Duce Croma, 32. A lot of people excited about what he could be the last 3 games of the season.
There he was on that carry, picked up about 4. Hokie lost a helmet in the exchange. He'll have to sit. That's Caleb Woodson, the linebacker.
He doesn't look like a true freshman. Maybe a little on the skinnier side, but 6'1". Big, tall. They're expecting his role to increase, just like with any true freshman. You're learning the playbook early on in the season. 3 games left. Expect his role to get larger.
Castellanos to throw. Looked like he might not have been on the same page with Danzy. Danzy couldn't break off his route and get to the sideline. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Torrey talked about Danzy's speed. He was going vertical. Thomas Castellanos was trying to settle him down, more of a back shoulder throw. This is a passing tack for Florida State. A lot of go balls, a lot of comebacks. Not a lot of dig routes, speed outs at 10 yards, things of that nature. The intermediate passing game in this Gus Malzahn offense, non-existent. They want to go deep.
Castellanos rolls the pocket. Misses on his receivers. He tried to hit LaWayne McCoy. Flag down in the offensive backfield. Let's check it.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 16. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
That's going to be a tough call against Noah Chambers, the true freshman, as that'll extend this drive.
Yeah, opportunity to get off the field, and a lesson learned for the true freshman, Noah Chambers. Balls out. Young linebacker who Virginia Tech loves, but just trying to do too much there. His head coach saying you got to be smart.
Yeah, that was way too late. Wasn't necessarily an overly egregious hit, but well after Castellanos released the football, so a fresh set of downs for the Noles, and Keziah Holmes back in at tailback. We've already seen Holmes, Roydell Williams, Usman Croma, and Gavin Sawchuk at tailback for the Noles. Holmes battling for extra yards, maybe gives him 2. Who are the key defenders here for the Hokies tonight?
Yeah, starts up front. If Virginia Tech's going to win this ball game, their defensive tackles have to be great. Kamari Copeland, they love interior-wise. Kelvin Gilliam right next to him as well. Caleb Spencer's the linebacker. Isaiah Brown-Murray, back-to-back games for him at the corner spot. Having to go against elite receivers. This week it'll be Duce Robinson. 2 weeks ago it was Chris Bell at Louisville. That's a tall task for this secondary.
Pop pass. Couldn't quite get the corner. Maybe give him a couple of yards. Jalen Lucas. Lucas and Danzy are 2 receivers they like to utilize in the running game, or those little pop passes like that, although that one only went for a couple.
It's a nice job by this Hokie defense, extending him to the perimeter. See 4 white jerseys there, utilizing the sideline as the 12th defender. String that out. Don't allow him to see a crease and cut up field.
They are rotating a different back in on almost every play.
Yeah.
This is Sawchuk now in for the Noles. They've got 5 different ball carriers now as Castellanos took the throw. Open down the middle, that's his receiver, Duce Robinson. And for the first time, we mentioned the name of the 6'6" junior out of Phoenix.
Duce Robinson is special. A pure receiver 1, 6'6", 225, but quick to get out of breaks like we're seeing right there. Had a steady dose of go balls, loves winning that contested catch. Seeing right there, though, a corner sagging off. It allows you to have some room right there to make those completions.
Interesting play here to Danzy, trying to get him into space with blockers in front. Inside the 20, down to the 18. Woodson finally tracked him down, but not before Danzy got 24 yards.
Danzy's got elite speed. when you got a playmaker like that, find any way to get the rock in his hands. This time, faking the inside zone, toss the reverse, going back the other way. Lead blocker, Randy Pittman Jr. ahead of him. A lot of space and a well-timed play call there, knowing Virginia Tech's on their heels.
10th play of this drive. Castellanos pump fake. Now he's looking to the end zone. Just overshoots his man. And that was Randy Pittman, the tight end.
Castellanos pass intended for Randy Pittman Jr. It falls incomplete, second down.
There's a look at Danzy in the 400 meters.
Broke the ACC record as a true freshman.
Competes at 200, 4x1, long jump. Just a sick athlete. Both in the spring on the track and in the field, and here on the football field. Second down carry by Singleton, picks up a couple. Caleb Spencer brought him down from his middle linebacker spot. Big third down here on this long drive for both squads.
Especially after the last third down where they weren't able to get off the field. I mentioned it, they're not gonna ask Tommy Castellanos to do a lot of pure progression passes where you're scanning through 5 progressions. We saw last third down, they elected to roll him out to his left. Option to get his legs involved. Let's see if they do something similar here.
51% on third down on the year. That's good for 11th best in the country, so they're good at getting it done here when it's time to convert. But third down and 8, Castellanos in a little bit of trouble here. Couldn't find his back out of the backfield and saw Chuck, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's a nice pressure by the Hokies defensive line. The pocket collapses in unison, which is key. Can't let Tommy Castellanos escape. You're seeing 4 rushers get pressure. Castellanos will want that throw back. Just step to your right and give your running back a shot. Missed opportunity there, but the pass rush from the Hokies caused it.
That'll bring on Jake Weinberg. You see he's 9 for 12 on the year. This one will be a 34-yard attempt. Good snap, good hold. Weinberg doesn't get it. Slid it past the right side of the right upright. And Mike Norvell can't believe it after that long drive. He thought for sure that was going to be a chip shot. Drones with a final word from the official. We're ready to go. He's got Terry and Stewart in the backfield with him. Stewart on the carry, tries to bounce it outside, then cuts it inside. Gain of a couple. Time now for Food Lions, food for thought.
At least it's also eye candy as well. Whole lot of movement just to get back to your basic concept.
Drones finds his tight end, Benji Gosnell. Picks up 3. Elijah Herring drove out Gosnell. Herring walked on senior night tonight along with 19 other seniors.
Third down's always a big metric in every single football game, but especially in this one because Virginia Tech needs to protect their defense, knowing how explosive Florida State offensively is. The ability to play keep away, stay on the field. These are the downs they have to convert.
Low snap, Drones is going to keep it himself, using the tailback as a lead blocker, and he gets clobbered, but still moving forward. He's right at the 30. And they're going to move the sticks. What a second and third effort by Kyron Drones. He's a big fella. He's 6'2", 235. He's tough to bring down.
He's a powerful athlete. Leading around, lead blocker by the running back. An excellent job by right tackle Aiden Lynch at the end, 76. He's the reason, along with Drones' foot drive, that they get those extra 2 yards to get the first down.
We saw Earl Little, 0, and Red just come in and lower the boom and just bounce off of Drones. Just barely picked up enough for the first down. Stewart along the left side. Loses the football. Goes out of bounds. They'll mark him where it went out. Actually gained probably a yard or 2 afterward.
Usually when running back loses the rock, they get subbed out immediately. Stewart's not the case. Let's see what happened here. He's trying to tuck it in there, and an excellent job by Stephon Thompson, the linebacker, stripping it out. Luckily for Virginia Tech, they recovered it.
Running Stewart again, 4 hard yards up the middle. Justin Cryer, the linebacker, they call him Juice.
Virginia Tech's going to want to run outside the tackles. The strength of this Florida State defense is their defensive tackles. We said it in the open. Daryl Jackson Jr., he's a potential first-round pick here in the spring. Getting those guys to run sideline to sideline to tire them out, to then run it up the middle later on in the game.
Heath in motion. They're going to give it to Stewart again, and Stewart close to another first down. 9 yards for Terry and Stewart. Who's key for Florida State defensively tonight?
Yeah, the big guy in the middle, who I just said, Daryl Jackson Jr., decided to come back to Florida State. He's a possible first-rounder coming up. Daniel Lyons right next to him. You got Earl Little Jr. He makes it happen at that rover spot. It's a safety linebacker combo.
Drones lowers his shoulder. Safety Edwin Joseph came up to bring him down, but they'll move the sticks again.
Nice drive here by Virginia Tech. He had the turnover the first drive, but outside of that one play and the false start to start the game, they've been in rhythm.
That's Earl Little, the Alabama transfer. Plays rover in this defense.
So he's tailor-made for this Tony White Florida State defense.
Drones going to give it to freshman Overton. Good yardage again on first down. They love Jeffrey Overton. Came in last year as an early enrollee and was injured in their bowl prep. So he's just now really starting to get some playing time, and this Hokie team is starting to see what they've got in this freshman from Woodbridge, Virginia.
Yeah, it's a rule in college football that when I played 10 years ago, no one really did, where if you're an early enrollee in high school, you can join the team for bowl prep in December. Unfortunately for Overton, he got hurt during that period, but something you're seeing more and more of in college football.
Riding Overton here, crashes through the middle of that Florida State defense and not getting much. Overton not exactly a power back. He's 5'10", listed at 178 pounds. Which shows he's fearless in terms of running between the tackles.
Again, this is the third down. This is where Virginia Tech wants to be, though. You're in 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, whole playbook's open. You're possibly in 4-down territory, and if so, and if you know you have 2 downs here from a coordinator perspective, maybe you try to get creative here and take a shot.
10th play of the drive. Hawkins met immediately and brought down. Big time play by Jerry Wilson again, who finished off the last Hokie drive with a pick. This time, he brings down Hawkins for a loss.
And the instincts on full display. Jerry Wilson Jr. wastes no time, triggering right away. That's a byproduct of watching film, studying the scout team, knowing they're getting out on the edge, and he beats the blocker to his spot. Not always seeing every corner coming up being that physical.
John Love is an outstanding kicker for the Hokies. 54 yards here. He's got a season long of 56. Puts a big leg into it, but it's going to be shy. So keep an eye on that. Florida State continuing the running game right up the middle. That's Sam Singleton. And Samuel Singleton was questionable coming into this game, but Florida State fans, good to see Singleton, redshirt sophomore out of Charleston, getting some run. Look what they did on the last drive. Shoot up 5 minutes and 18 seconds, went 79 yards, but this field goal means we're still scoreless.
Got a bunch of running backs involved in that drive. Got a couple catches to Duce Robinson as well, so just got to pick up where they left off.
Singleton loses footing on 2nd and short. It'll be 3rd and short.
The second time we've seen a significant slip. The interception on the first drive for Virginia Tech.
Into the program, was able to walk off assisted. He's being replaced by Andre Otto, who's 6'5", 330. You got to be kidding me.
It's a lot of man.
There's Otto right there, and he helped push the pile for a first down.
Significant, though. You're on your backup left guard, backup right tackle. As this game goes along, if Virginia Tech this season has been a struggle defensively, but they do like their defensive line.
Empty backfield with Jalen Lucas in the slot. That's him in motion. Pop pass to him. Oh, he's got a lot of room to run. He'll pick up the first down. IBM Isaiah Brown Murray pushes him out, but that's what they want to do with 12 on those jet sweeps or pop passes.
He's their perimeter guy. You're so worried about what they've done in between the tackles, you forget that 12 can leak out towards the boundary. It's a big part of their running game, just added yards on the perimeter. So tough when you're a safety, having to monitor that. Worried about getting downhill and filling inside the box, and then, oh, they leak it out one side.
And the freshman Chroma just couldn't quite hold his stance.
Offense, number 32. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Mike Norvell said Usman Chroma was as good as any freshman running back he's ever coached. And that's high praise, and he's part of this deep running back room, and they've been shuffling backs in and out all night long, and that continues on this play.
Yeah, Mike Norvell was saying the staff's more comfortable with him as the weeks go along. It was a huge flip during the recruiting process from Georgia. A lot of fans excited about 32. Stay on the field, though. Can't be given penalties.
Castellanos over the middle, just overshoots LaWayne McCoy, and he had him wide open. Wide open here, Max.
So worried about the receivers on the outside. It allows McCoy to have a route right down the middle. Castellanos just misses him. He's there one-on-one with a dropping linebacker. Just misses him. McCoy coming off his best statistical game versus Clemson, 4 catches. It could have been a touchdown.
2nd and 15. Pressure up the middle, swing to Roydell. Got blockers in front of him, tried to leap a defender. Couldn't, but Roydell Williams, who's another back now that they're getting to see a lot more of, injured early on in the season, got his most significant playing time against Clemson last week, but now getting some run this week.
That was a heck of a tackle by Tyson Flowers. That safety, if he doesn't get the legs there, that could have been out the gate. Instead, you come down with that tackle and force Florida State to convert on 3rd down.
Stay consistent in what we're doing, stay ahead of the chains. I like what our guys are doing, playing aggressively with it. We just got to stay locked in.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And on this one, it looked like they might have been locked in on Jalen Lucas, but he slithered through, and he's close to picking up that first down. They're going to give it to him. They're not going to give it to him. He earned it.
Slithered's the perfect word. Broke 2 tackles. I thought he was dead in the backfield. Controlling, they're managing that eye candy for Virginia Tech. Twice on this drive, you've got the jet sweep. Got to stay disciplined, though, because it's only a matter of time before they fake that and run with Tommy's legs right up the middle.
Empty backfield once again with Castellanos. This time they fake it to him. That's exactly what they did on this play, and Castellanos was that close to breaking free. Caleb Spencer comes up to make the tackle from his linebacker spot. My fingers are pretty close together, aren't they? That's how close.
Almost broke this one. We said it, right? You're having to have a sense of Gus Malzahn's pace and what he wants to get to. It's the chess match as a coordinator. You've had 2 successful jet sweeps on the edge, trying to catch the Virginia Tech defense sleeping. And we were talking with Sam Siefkes, Virginia Tech's defensive coordinator. He talked about that, trying to time when Gus Malzahn's going to call his shot plays and the misdirection runs.
Now the fake to Singleton, dropped by Danzy. Danzy, a former running back, was recruited as a running back before making the switch last spring to receiver. He was injured during the spring, so he's really only had the summer and this year working as a receiver in this offense.
It's the 3rd time they've had 3rd and 8. The first one, they rolled Tommy out to his left. Second one was much more of an empty formation. Got to be wary of where 0 is. Duce Robinson, he's in the slot right by the hash mark.
Castellanos, they roll the pocket. Hits his receiver inside the 20. That's going to be McCoy.
That's easy. Roll out Tommy Castellanos, no pressure in his face. Corner worried about getting beat deep because of all this speed the Seminole receivers have, and you chop it down for a comeback and pick up the sticks.
Second time in the red zone for the Noles. First time ended in a missed field goal. Sawchuck tries to get out of an ankle tackle, falls forward for a couple more. That was Kamari Copeland, who had a hold of his ankle.
Copeland's their anchor in the middle. Saying he's having the best year of his career, leaning on both these defensive tackles for leadership during this time of transition for the program. 35 tackles on the year. Been a force in the middle.
Castellanos to throw. Now he's going to tuck it and run. You see the quickness and change of direction as he gets down to the 7, 1st and goal.
Talk about all the different running backs Florida State has. A week ago, Castellanos led them in carries with 11 touches. Got to pick your spots, though. Not the biggest guy, has been banged up. When you're close to the end zone, that's when it's got to come out because it's such a weapon. Defense having to account for an extra hat in the run game.
13th play of this drive that started on their own 36. Now the freshman Chroma in with Castellanos. He'll get the carry, gets met at the line of scrimmage, bounces off, and gets hit again hard behind the line of scrimmage.
Jordan Bass from the safety spot came in with his hair on fire. Didn't wrap up, but this is a big hit. Right there in the A-gap. Then allowing his buddies to come rally behind him. It's a nice job by 6, triggering right away.
First TFL of the day for this Virginia Tech defense. Couldn't come at a better time. Now we have wholesale changes on both sides of the football. Samuel Singleton is in behind Castellanos. Castellanos will throw to the corner. Trying to get it to Robinson and just couldn't hang on. Tyson Flowers has given up about 7 inches in height there. You can see the defensive back. Check that, that was Isaiah Brown-Murray, IBM, which is still giving up even more height.
And he shouldn't be celebrating because that's just a drop pass by Duce Robinson. A rare occurrence. He has made his money all season long on the contested catches, using that 6'6" frame. An absolute weapon down here in the red zone with that big body to drop pass. Physical coverage, but that's one that Duce Robinson has come down with most of this season.
Castellanos to throw, pressure off the edge, going to the other side, makes the catch, and he's in. Duce figured if it doesn't work in the left corner, let's try it in the right. That time, 6.
He missed the easy catch and converted the more difficult one.
It's a touchdown. That play is
Going back-to-back fade routes near the goal line speaks to the confidence Gus Malzahn has in this playmaker. Over the shoulder, gets the right foot down, body controlled by his right collarbone. This is what he's been doing to defensive backs in the ACC all season long.
Had the initial bobble, then squeezed it.
It's going to be the question, did he have control there with that, after that initial bobble?
Got that right, the right foot was down. Was it down when he still corralled the bobble? Doesn't have it yet.
I don't think he has control after that second look.
Called a touchdown on the field, so the question will be, did that right foot come off the turf when he secured it?
No control. It's going to be down to that right big toe.
And does our replay official, Bill Stimmel, see enough to overturn this?
No control, no control, control.
Real
and
close.
Is that foot off the ground?
After further review, the pass was incomplete. It's 4th down.
Yeah, that foot coming up off the turf, and that bobble costed him.
Fans here don't like it.
You have a 13-play drive. The first drive, settle for a field goal, miss it. Second drive, 15 plays, have to settle for a field goal again.
Jake Weinberg will attempt from 26. Missed from 34 in the first quarter. And this time he's true.
And two coaches that have gone up against each other many a times when they were at Memphis and other stops along the way.
Yeah, Montgomery was at Tulsa for 8.
Really the first mainstream offensive coordinator to embrace quarterback run game as part of your offensive philosophy. That's obviously all over college football now.
Drones runs into the back of his own blocker. He's only able to pick up 3. That play looked like it had a lot more to it. 88 yards rushing for Virginia Tech, -1 passing.
Finish off that point. Gus Malzahn, more innovator quarterback run game out of the spread system. Obviously, the option attacks have been going on for decades. Two guys always trying to stay ahead of the curve. What's the next innovation?
Interestingly enough, Art Briles began coaching high school with the triple option, the wishbone. That's how much they can change over the years.
And it was fun talking to Gus Malzahn yesterday, too, of, hey, coaching high school forces you to be flexible, get used to new concepts. It's kind of applicable to now, or new players, applicable now with the transfer portal and so much movement. Can't always be the players got to adjust to the scheme. Sometimes the scheme's got to adjust on an annual basis.
And as far as Virginia Tech goes, when you have Kyron Drones, you can just run him a lot. This time going with Hawkins, trying to get to the right edge, falls forward, picks up about 5. So that's a good pickup on first down, as Darrell Jackson had to come from his nose.
That is very small and something that they got to have a little bit more than that if they're going to come away with a win today.
Only attempted 4 passes so far today. Hawkins on the right side. Cryer brings him down. He's going to be about 2 yards shy of the first down.
Last time they were in this scenario, Virginia Tech ran the motion your running back out of the backfield, trying to get a little bubble screen play. The secondary for Florida State's very athletic. I'd imagine this time around they're going to try to get Kyron Drones' legs involved, force the defense to match up with his running ability.
Drones going to carry it himself. He's got blockers in front of him. And again, lowers his shoulder. But Omar Graham was there to meet him. And this is just going to be about the spot right here. And they're going to give him the first down.
A little surprised they're not measuring this.
That's a lost art in college football, by the way. When was the last time you saw them bring the sticks out?
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. I don't think we've seen it all year, to be honest with you.
I saw the clip on Instagram last night of the line judge doing the note card to measure the football.
Yes.
Back in the NFL days, Gene, now he's the rules analyst.
Sterator.
There you go.
Yep, Terry and Stewart now. Fresh set of downs for Virginia Tech. Stewart now cuts it inside. Eludes a tackler nicely, but the pursuit was there for the Noles. Cryer holds him to 2 yards. Coming up next, the ACC huddle final score. Miami hammering NC State. They'll keep you up to date on all the games as the championship picture starts to shape up. Stewart, right side, tiptoes down the sideline and picks up the first down.
Stewart on the carry, first down Virginia Tech.
It's a nice design by Philip Montgomery. You've been working towards the inside, then you toss sweep. Get your big right tackle, Aiden Lynch, as a lead blocker. Oftentimes you see sweeps towards the wide side of the field. Obviously there's more grass. When you run it into the boundary, not as much grass. You got to be locked in with your blocks to make sure Stewart can get the corner.
Third straight drive into Florida State territory tonight for the Hokies. In a rapidly moving first half. Stewart spinning his way forward. Elijah Herring wraps him up after a gain of about 1.5 yards.
Stewart's had a nice job seeing and cutting back. Another slip right there. Physical front 7 for Florida State. Just get this sense, though. It's been run play after run play after run play. When's Philip Montgomery going to dial up a deep pass down the field? Last time he did it was intercepted on the first drive.
Drones to throw here. Tries to get out in the flat to Overton. Has blockers in front of him and has good speed. Cuts it back inside. Still on his feet, inside the 5 and down to the 4. Outstanding run after the catch by Jeffrey Overton, the freshman. 36 yards, it's 1st and goal for Virginia Tech.
It's an excellent design. They're acting like they're taking a deep shot down the field because they know Florida State's thinking the same way as me. Taking a shot downfield, they set up the blocker in front of them.
Drones keeps it into the end zone, touchdown.
That's a phenomenal drive by the Virginia Tech offense. That's what their identity is. They're going to run the rock, throw a bunch of different schemes at you, inside the tackles, jet sweeps, and they try to take a shot downfield, set up a blocker in front of their stud true freshman running back. Overton gets him down there, and then ultimately Kyron Drones finishes the deal.
John Love in for the try, and it's good. 5. Kyle Lowe will let it fly into and out of the back of the end zone. We'll take a quick break.
Offensive drive.
Castellanos gives to Singleton. Got a blocker in front of him. Down to about the 30-yard line. Now we've seen some players slipping and sliding on this turf, and Tori Petrie's a Florida native, so maybe she can give us some insight on what's going on down there.
Yeah, guys, the grass down here is wet. Most people think of Florida as humid in the summers, but it is just as humid in the winter. The air is kind of thick down here. When I've been down and touched this grass, you can feel the moisture on the blades, and the field's already looking a little chewed up. Yeah,
we're seeing it torn up a little bit, and we certainly saw it have a big impact on that first interception, the first turnover of the game down here in the far end zone. And the Florida State cornerback was able to keep his footing, and the Virginia Tech receiver wasn't. That time, Chroma, the freshman, is able to keep his footing long enough to get near midfield. 1st down for the Noles.
Nice vision right there by the true freshman. Supposed to insert front side on the right side, bounces it out to the left side, and seeing his speed and athleticism on the edge.
Chroma here trying to dance his way forward. Fights hard for a yard.
Man, they have him listed at 6'1", 220. His frame looks like he could carry another 15, 20 pounds another year in the weight room.
Yeah.
That would be an absolute load.
From Leesburg, Georgia, Southwest Georgia area. Florida State's always recruited that area really well. Again, they give it to Chroma. He's working him in the middle, spins forward right at midfield.
I love that he rocks 32 as well. A lot of single-digit numbers these days, or in the 20s. Stick with 32. So often after a true freshman, you go down to the single digit. Maybe if he gains 20 pounds, go up to the 40s. Really send a message.
Noles 5 for 7 on 3rd down. This one 3rd and 5. They bring in Gavin Sawchuk in the backfield with Castellanos. Castellanos to throw. Has all kinds of time in the pocket. Got a receiver wide open. That's Duce. Shakes a tackler inside the 10. He'll score.
They missed him the first 2 times when he was on the outside lane on a vertical ball down by the end zone. This time they line him up in the slot. No one touches him. No linebackers get his hands on him. He's one-on-one with a safety, and good luck there. It's a cover 2 look. Middle of the field's wide open. You have a hard time bringing down a big receiver like that. Joe Reddish, the safety, one-on-one with Duce Robinson. That's a matchup Florida State will take every time.
Weinberg with a low line drive kick that sails out of the back of the end.
One matchup they love.
See how the Hokies respond. Hawkins. Another good pickup on the ground on 1st down. They've had a lot of success giving themselves 2nd and short in these drives.
Part of Virginia Tech's game plan heading into this game. Philip Montgomery talked about it, limiting possessions, controlling the clock, controlling the ball. With 2:54 left, they would love nothing more to have another one of these long drives and not give Tommy Castellanos an opportunity with only their 4th drive, Florida State, if they were to get this ball back.
Hawkins has 55 yards on the ground. Shifts to Drones left. Now he takes the pitch. Nowhere to go. Florida State defense closes down on him and forces a loss. Ashland Barker and company were there to drive him back. Nation is somehow getting one and white to pick up a first down here. Pressure on the edge. He eludes it initially. Can he pick it up with his legs? Dives for the marker. It'll depend on where they mark it, but they're going to mark it as a first down.
What an effort. What an effort by Kyron Drones. I thought he was dead in the water with a pass rusher coming from his blind side, bearing down on him, but you're seeing the speed. I mean, we talked about his size, but right here he hits another gear, gets the edge, outruns Omar Graham to the corner, and then dives for the first down. What an incredible play by Kyron Drones.
Now they give to Overton. Again, a nice pickup on first down, 7 yards.
Seeing the burst and quickness, which is, it's not easy. Coming off that ACL, his first action was in that game 2 weeks ago, and they talked about him being maybe a little bit, you know, cautious of that knee. Obviously, he's cleared and ready to go, but there's a certain confidence that comes with getting your first real-life reps.
Take a shot here. You have 142 yards rushing. You're having all kinds of success on first down. Drones is going to pass. He's going to try and step up, but he has pressure. Dumps it off. Ball deflected up in the air and incomplete. Tried to get it to Overton, but Omar Graham was there in coverage. I feel like it's going to be on one of those second and threes, second and fours when they go up top.
Yeah, I'm with you. The clock is at a certain point a factor too. Obviously, Virginia Tech, you want to get down there, but you don't want to give Tommy Castellanos the ball back. Kyron Drones trying to make a play there. Big third down here. Back again to that 3rd and 3. Exactly what, if they're going to be on third down, that's exactly where they want to be. Florida State's not sure if it's going to be Drones, if it's going to be the rushing attack, or do you get these tight ends and then receivers involved?
Drones keeps it. Picks up another first down.
And on the flip side, Philip Montgomery's going to have a decision on his hands too about how to manage his timeouts.
Clock stops here temporarily inside of 2 minutes with the first down, but now they wind it. He's got all 3 timeouts on the board.
Going to be a fine line. This Virginia Tech offense is not built to execute in 2-minute mode. Not necessarily wanting Kyron Drones to drop back and, you know, have 4 receivers out there.
Noles bring 4. Drones pressured. Gets it out to Hawkins. Flag behind the play, but Hawkins has a big gain here inside the 25. But we got to check the marker.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Aiden Lynch. Guilty party. They'll move it back. That wiped out a 27-yard gain and also wiped out about 17 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, it's an offensive line unit that to start the year had a different lineup every single week. Seen it right there on the right side. Lately, they've had the same 5 across the board. Aiden Lynch has been the guy that's had to step up for this unit. .36 seconds, though. You're looking for a chunk play if you can get it through the air. Your Kyron Drones can't take the sack as the clock continues to run.
Drones is going to throw. Dumps it off into the flat. That's Shamarius Peterkin. Just gets 6.
All things considered for Virginia Tech. I want to just take your medicine and get into halftime.
Drones to pass. He's got room to run if he can escape the initial rush. He does, out of bounds. There'll be 6 seconds left. James Williams chased him out. Now they do have a kicker with a big leg, John Love. He can hit a 50-some-odd-yard field.
He was the last man that had the mic with the head coach. I have to think he might be featured here.
Drones gets the snap.
Yep.
Gets it to Hairston. They're going to wind the clock. That's it.
That's the end of the first.
The half is not over. Players and coaches.
I'm Montgomery. I want them to review this. It was definitely bang, bang.
In the first quarter, that made him say, yeah, it's not in the stars tonight. Maybe it's the humidity.
That's
And
funny.
we need to get Torrey to report again on the humidity. Drones Got to buy some time. Certainly has the arm to get it to the end zone. Bounces up in the air and goes incomplete. That was dangerous, as he had 3 receivers down there and the ball batted up into the air, but it falls harmlessly incomplete.
If you're Virginia Tech and Sam Seifkis, what's your second half adjustments to how to defend number 0 out wide?
Low kicks off, and an opportunity for Lucas, making the most of it. Getting out beyond the 35, so good starting field position for the Noles here in this third quarter. You mentioned it was a very evenly played first half. Look at the stats. Total yards, 203 to 200.
Very few drives. That's been the biggest story to me in that first half. This will be Florida State's only their 4th possession this game. So if that mold continues, got to cash in when you get your opportunities.
Noles starting on the ground again to start this third quarter. Kamari Copeland plugging up the hole and stopping Samuel Singleton from picking up any more than 3 yards.
This is a Florida State team that's 75% run. If you don't count RPOs, run pass options, which are called run plays, 75% of the time they're trying to run the rock paired with their explosiveness.
Pressure off the edge. Castellanos gets rid of it quickly, but he couldn't find his receiver, tight end Randy Pittman. Ben Bell with pressure off the edge, Max.
And that was the story a little bit a week ago. Clemson, he had 5 drops in that game. They thought this week of practice was all about correcting those missed opportunities. When they're there, that was, you find a way to come down with that. The ball's a little high from Castellanos. He had a lot of green grass ahead of him to keep rolling.
Florida State 6 of 8 on third down. Castellanos has time. Now he steps up. Gets a block on the edge, hits a receiver. That's Pittman. He's right at the yard marker to gain. I think he might be a little bit shy. No, the near side linesman says he's got it. They'll move the sticks.
Passing-wise, Castellanos is at his best with the downfield shots and then scramble drill when he breaks the pocket. That play, first third down of the second half, they elected to put a cloud safety over the top of Duce Robinson, basically double covering him. That means other guys like Randy Pittman have to take advantage.
Back to the freshman Chroma in the backfield. Pittman in motion. They'll give it to Chroma, lowers his shoulder, powers his way to midfield.
Go from featuring Pittman twice on pass plays to getting him involved in the run scheme there. Gus Malzahn called him best player on this team. They love this guy, old school, physical. Came with Malzahn from UCF in the portal. Has a little bit of a receiver flair, but definitely a tight end.
Castellanos backpedals, has to just throw it away. That time he was looking for Douglas, another one of his tight ends. It's Gus Malzahn.
And again, they find themselves in this 3rd and 7. They've had 3rd and 7 and 3rd and 8 half dozen times in this game. If you're Gus Malzahn coming into a game plan, you have, all right, maybe 2 or 3 calls for that scenario. You have more, but 2 or 3 favorites. What's the creative wrinkle that he plays off his previous play calls with?
Pressure off the edge, picked up initially. Castellanos now rolls a pocket, tries to get it to Duce. Yeah, there was a lot of contact downfield, and the flag comes out.
Pass interference. Defense, number 9. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Call's going to go against Big Blue. IBM, that's Isaiah Brown Murray. He's 5'9", going up against 6'6", Duce Robinson.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup. They're putting a safety over the top of him as well. Double move route right here. Safety's out of the picture, and then he comes in at the end. Just tugs him, gets caught there. Isaiah Brown Murray knew it right away. I said this in the first half, but back-to-back games for 9. He's having, you could make the argument, the 2 most physically imposing receivers in this conference, with Chris Bell at Louisville 2 weeks ago and Duce Brown this week.
That's Lucas. Again, they want to get him loose on the outside. He picks up about 5. They'll mark it as a 4-yard gain on first down. Williams transferred a couple of years ago from Indiana.
It's been the rhythm that Florida State's had most this night. These long, extended drives. How does this Virginia Tech defense hold up?
It's antithetical to the modern college football world, isn't it? Long time-consuming drives, fewer possessions. Look at that strike. To Robinson again inside the 15. 17 yards. Man, that pass had some heat on it.
What a catch right here, too. Using that big frame. It's a little RPO, but backer blitzes. Creates a vacated zone. Replace the backer with the throw. An excellent catch by Duce Robinson. It's not just the fade balls and contested catches. He's quick enough to get it done on the quicker routes as well.
Keziah Holmes now was in at tailback. They got it to Danzy. Wasn't able to do much with it. They would pick up about 5 though.
He got hit hard at the end. Little jet sweep going under center, trying to get the edge quickly. Nice tackle there by Virginia Tech, stringing that one out. Thomas Williams getting him down.
Florida State's been very good in terms of converting red zone opportunities into touchdowns. 3rd best in conference play. Samuel Singleton is the tailback. Castellanos fakes it to him, now goes to the end zone. All kinds of options on that play, but he overshot his man, Duce, in the corner.
Yeah, another fade route to Duce Robinson in the red zone. Except this time it's quick D-line penetration by Virginia Tech. This one, it's more of a zone read, so you got the option to give it to the running back. Tommy Castellanos can run with it with his legs, or if the defense is on him right away, toss it up for another fade ball. This time, though, Virginia Tech's got a second defensive back, bottom of the screen.
Castellanos overshoots his intended receiver. And that was Pittman, the tight end. And that was Caleb Woodson in coverage, the linebacker.
Excellent job by this Hokie defense, though, finding a way to get off the field, forcing the field goal. It happened in the first half.
Now Gus Malzahn looked like a man on a mission.
He's going to find someone. Someone or something. Maybe it's an iPad.
Weinberg in for 27.
Game clock operator, please reset the play clock to 25 seconds. Thank you.
Hokies have definitely stiffened up in the red zone tonight. Third opportunity in the red zone for the Noles. Flag down, Weinberg kicks it, and it's good, but we got to check the marker here. Thomas Williams may have been guilty of going off sides for the Hokies, and this is going to be close to a first down if they march this off 5 yards. It's going to be offsides on Virginia Tech. And now Nate Black is explaining the options to Coach Mike Norvell. Because the kick was good. You take the points off the board. Let's see where this one ends up.
Offside. Defense, number 23. That penalty is enforced half the distance to the goal. Still 4th down.
Yes, because it's only half the distance. So it's still going to be 4th down. It's 4th down at about a yard.
What a costly mistake, too, because this plays right into Florida State's hands. Only need, it's not even a yard. It's 4th and inches. Have to imagine Castellanos' legs are going to be part of this run game, or it looks like they're going wildcat with Randy Pittman behind center.
Pittman's going to keep it, gets the first down, close to the goal line, still powering forward. He won't get into the end zone, but he will pick up the first down.
Man, what a huge mistake. Getting off the field, only giving up a field goal to then now 4th and inches, Wildcat offense, just running right up the center, pick up the first down. Penalties haven't been a huge part of the game. We saw the 1 third down roughing the passer in the first quarter, but another costly one there.
Another long drive on the night for the Seminoles. Castellanos back in. Hands it up the middle to Singleton. Doesn't get in. As I mentioned before, we've seen the Hokies bow up in the red zone. They're really going to have to do it here. Kelvin Gilliam, KG, their inspirational leader, team captain on this defense, stepping up. They're going to have to get 2 or most notably 3 of those still to come here. Singleton again, flanking Castellanos. Castellanos keeps it himself into the end zone.
Play drive. Once again, another double-digit play drive for the Seminoles. This time, no settling for field goals. We're scoring touchdowns. Number 1, taking the rock in himself.
Weinberg got his field goal attempt taken off the board moments ago, but he'll settle for the PAT. A hug from his finish to 10. Weinberg kicks off, sailing it out of the back of the end zone. Max, you and I have talked about this. The rule change.
Now there's no hiding, and we've talked about it all season, for better and for worse. No hiding when you make a mistake, everyone sees it, but then also you get the truth right away.
Drones and the Hokies got to respond, and they do on first down. That time Isaiah Spencer with the catch. 18 yards, so another positive play on first down for Virginia Tech. They're really making hay early on in downs.
Yeah, it's a nice concept. You get Drones' legs out to his right side. You divide the field in half. Don't force him to read the left side of the field. 3-man progression, finds his over route for a nice gain.
And just like that, Hawkins now finds a hole into Florida State territory down at the 41. Blake Nicholson tackled him, but another big gain, and again on first down.
And again, cutting back, too, against the grain. It kind of feels like these Virginia Tech running backs are sensing some over pursuit by Florida State, putting their right foot in the ground, getting upfield. Averaging 11.5 per carry today.
Virginia Tech averaging 5.5 yards on first down. Hawkins here. And he's going to get 6. We'll mark him down at 5. Omar Graham on the tackle. We talked about when they're going to take their shots downfield, but if they're getting 5 yards chunk every time they run the football, why on earth would you even do it?
I'm with you. I'm with you. Talk about Florida State wearing down the Virginia Tech defense. Same thing applies with what Virginia Tech's offense has been able to do to the defensive line of Florida State.
Jaden Jones comes into the game for the Noles. The thing for Virginia Tech is they got to find a way to get in the end zone. Hawkins cuts it upfield. He and Arnu collide near the sideline. Terry and Stewart in the game now on a 3rd and 3. Florida State showing some pressure. Drones is going to carry it himself. First down inside the 30. Wilson again on the tackle. Drones will take that matchup against a cornerback any day of the week if he can get that far downfield.
That's another run game concept, right? Actually, that might be actually a called pass where you're trying to get the ball in the flat to Hairston, and if it's not there, then again, the QB run game comes alive.
And for the 5th time in this game, Drones runs for a first down on 3rd down. Drones keeps it. He's got Heath on the outside. Instead, he goes to the end zone. Just overshoots Aiden Green. Good coverage by Wilson. Wilson's had a heck of a game at that cornerback spot.
Yeah, last time we saw that matchup on a vertical route to Green, it was Jerry Wilson who came up with the interception. Wilson's had a nice game. Remember, Jabril Rawls, their do-everything corner for Florida State. He's out this game. Tony White, their defensive coordinator, was saying multiple times this season they feel like Rawls was the best player on the field. Jerry Wilson having to step up today.
Stewart cuts it back inside. Dropped by James Williams at the 25. It'll bring up 3rd and 7.
This is where the playbook condenses, though. More of the triple option mentality is great when you're on schedule. 3rd and 7, this is when gotta throw the ball. Maybe there's some quarterback draw. Maybe you're rolling out Kyron Drones to his right. Unique formation. First time we've seen 4 receivers in a diamond formation to the top.
Now Takai Heath coming to the slot on the near side. Flags down, they'll blow the play dead.
Ball start, offense, number 62, 5-yard penalty. Still.
Again, the center out sooner. Now that playbook condenses even more.
And your mindset as a quarterback is, A, I cannot take a sack, but if you're Drones and nothing's there, try to pick up what you can to help out your kicker. Getting 5 to 7 yards here is a big deal in terms of helping out your field goal game.
The freshman Jeffrey Overton now in at tailback.
Florida State showing blitz 0. Blitz with man coverage behind it. Do they blitz Drones or do they back out of it?
They're coming. They're all coming. Drones, can he get through? He cannot. Fumbles a football. Big scramble for it. Noles claiming they have it. No word yet from our officiating crew. They do. Tori has more on these two twins.
Yeah, guys, the Desir twins got a lot of hype in our meetings with coaches this week. They said that Daryl and Mandrell Desir have become the blueprint for what this FSU staff looks for in high school players.
As Usman gets a big run, a first down near midfield. You can continue with that, Tori.
Yeah, DC Tony White told us that these two are grown men.
And, you know, make the facility do it. So if they're having struggles with that, we got bigger issues, but they're having no issues with the on-field play.
No question about it. Both of them were late flips. As Tori was saying, UCF commits out of Miami. Identical twins. Defensive coordinator.
What you're doing, and you're going to be a freshman All-American by the end of the season, and they might be on their way to getting there.
Daryl Desir, defensive end. Mandrell, defensive tackle. Another big run up the middle. Castellanos. Brought down by Isaiah Cash. There's Mandrell. Forced the fumble. We saw Daryl sitting on the bench.
Said they're fun to be around, too. Life of the meeting rooms. Getting it done on the field, but great vibes in the locker room.
So now following the turnover, too, a succession of long runs and first downs for the Noles back in Virginia Tech territory. This is danger time for the Hokies because, as you've made mention a couple of times, you're going to have fewer and fewer possessions in this game with these long, time-consuming drives. Castellanos finds Duce again. 17 yards.
Such a difficult concept to defend. It's a called run play. Then Castellanos is going to pull it. They act like Duce is going to block. Then the second he lets up, cornerback triggers to try to tackle Castellanos because you're so worried about his mobility. And then you let Duce Robinson behind you.
Gone over 100 yards in this game. Setting up the screen. Singleton. Delivers a hit, takes a hit at the 10. It'll be 1st and goal.
It's a nice call by Gus Malzahn. They missed their screen pass to Randy Pittman last possession to the boundary, the short side of the field. here's the same exact screenplay or same exact location on the field, just a different way to get to it. Nice job by Samuel Singleton getting upfield. So much of Gus Malzahn's play calling is about rhythm, feel for the game. It's the defense on their toes, defense on their heels. Got to time those, not only the shot calls, but the screen passes as well.
Right now, Singleton is the running back with the rhythm. Takes this one up the middle, inside the 5, down to the 3. Antoine Santiago on the tackle, but FSU has definitely found their rhythm in these last 3 drives, marching down the field and wearing down that Virginia Tech defense.
I mean, look at that, 16 plays, 13 plays. 5 plays was the rare deep touchdown to Duce Robinson.
Again to Singleton, just powers his way to the goal line. Still doesn't get in. We've been down here a bunch, and it's never been easy. I mean, all night long, Virginia Tech has bowed their backs. Now a late flag, very late, comes in after the play.
Yep, Florida State kind of giving innocent body language.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 6, is first of the game. Penalties half a distance to go. Automatic, first down.
Call's going to go against Jordan Bass. The distance marched off on the penalty isn't the issue. It's the automatic first down from the half-yard line. That's the problem.
Again, they're going back to Randy Pittman, Wildcat, tight end at quarterback.
Pittman keeps it, leaps forward, doesn't get in on the initial leap. Still held out of the end zone. Jaden Keller from that weak side linebacker spot comes in there and hits Pittman as he left the ground. Still not easy for the Noles down here inside the 5.
This is a great play by Keller. Trying to go over the top, Randy Pittman is. Keller meets him right there. Lucky he held on to that ball, too.
Got an injured Hokie on the play, as he is attended to. We'll take a quick break. Florida State up 10, but threatening.
Officials timeout.
Guys as well.
Again, Pittman from the Wildcat. Again, he'll keep it himself, and he powers his way into the end zone.
Tight end Wildcat, alive and well.
Weinberg, no issues with the PAT. Noles convert their 3rd successive drive for work like they have in the first 3 quarters of this game anymore.
Unfortunately for them, that's just their identity, their reality.
Let's send it down to Torrey on the field.
Well, guys, to your point on Pittman, remember, he's a guy who came over from UCF with Gus Malzahn. Malzahn called him another coach on the field.
Types of meetings could only happen at halftime. Now they can happen after every single drive.
Drones with the pitch to Hawkins. Gets met after a couple of yards by Earl Little.
Virginia Tech offense has done a good job responding after Florida State has scored. Obviously now down many scores. Have to come up with points on this drive.
Hawkins now motions back. He'll take the handoff, big hole up the middle. Earl Little again on the tackle, but this time much further downfield. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. And what will almost certainly be the final play of this 3rd quarter unless Virginia Tech wants to go quickly. They do. And they'll pick up the first down.
Ruling on the field is a first down.
Better clock management.
That
Get a
is
first
the end of
down
the 3rd quarter.
before the end of the quarter.
They're flying around. Obviously Virginia Tech's doing a good job, working, sideline to sideline, but we just got to go put pads on people.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Got to put pads on Drones. He scrambles for a first down.
Right there, one of the first true drop back passes called in this game. Obviously doing that because you're down multiple scores with only a quarter left. Remember, Kyron Drones, that was the offensive identity his first 2 years starting at Virginia Tech. They wanted him to be more of a true traditional spread quarterback. Certainly his legs would always be a part of it, but more of, true progressions. They moved away from that ever since they moved on from their head coach. We're getting back to that here maybe.
Drones has a receiver. That's Green. Makes the catch down to the 21. And just like that, at the start of this fourth quarter, the Hokies are back in business. That's 31 yards.
See the arm strength from Kyron Drones sitting on the left hash, throwing a comeback to the right sideline. That's a big boy throw. First couple attempts to Aiden Green were vertical shots down the field. That's the counter off of that. Defensive backs maybe getting soft in coverage, chop it down for a comeback. Nicely executed.
Hawkins, big hole to go through. He does go through it, down to the 10. Juice Cryer on the stop, but another 11 yards on first down, and it's first and goal.
What a four-play sequence. You go the hurry-up first down right before the end of the quarter, and then first three plays right here, wasting no time moving right down the field.
Drones keeps looking to throw, has a receiver open inside the 10. That's Cameron Selden. We haven't mentioned number 9's name all night long, and that was somebody actually that defensive coordinator Tony White said, I want to keep an eye on him.
Like we saw with Castellanos, where he had to pull it, run it, and then trying to throw to Duce Robinson. This is Virginia Tech's version, new school triple option. First option's hand the ball off. Second option is Drones running it. Third option is get the ball to Selden.
Flags down. Whistle this one dead.
Ball start. Offense. Number 76. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Right tackle Aiden Lynch move. That's the 8th penalty on the night against Virginia Tech.
Talked about how similar both these offenses are from a quarterback run game standpoint. Obviously getting into different areas, but one thing that's night and day different for Philip Montgomery right now, he doesn't have a Duce Robinson. Right here, Florida State's doing fade routes. They're looking number 0's way. Virginia Tech doesn't necessarily have that receiver they can lean on to win those one-on-one matchups right now.
Drones keeps, cuts it back inside. Taken down by Earl Little inside the 10. Defensive coordinator Tony White said something he definitely learned in terms of the people he worked with. Rocky Long, people like that was, I want to make sure that I'm built strong up the middle. The spine of the defense.
Spine of the defense. They got Jackson at defensive tackle. Crier's that middle linebacker. Then Earl Little Jr. It's that roaming rover in this 3-3-5 scheme.
Big third down here. Hawkins in motion. So Drones is going to look to throw. To the end zone. Has his man. Touchdown, Green.
It's an excellent catch by Green. Contested catch on a little slant route. Corners draped all over you. That's been a matchup we've seen all day long. Physical Green versus Jerry Wilson. It's a nice throw by Drones, too. Put it right on the stomach of the receiver. Anything higher, harder to come down with that. Recipe for an interception. Anything low, hard to catch as well. Put it right on his belly button, protect your receiver, and get in for 6.
Love for the PAT. And he finishes off a 9-play, 75-yard drive. He's seen it all. Lucas going to give this one a shot from 3 yards deep into his own end zone. Well, you can see his elusiveness. Good return out to the 39. Tomorrow afternoon, women's basketball doubleheader on the ACC network. It starts in Atlanta. Georgia Tech hosting Jacksonville at 3 o'clock Eastern, followed by the Noles hosting Indiana right here in Tallahassee. Both also available, of course, on the all-new ESPN app. And a player injured on that kick return. Still trying to get a number. It's a Hokie. Looks like it's the kicker, Kyle Lowe.
You had to come up late and play a role in trying to make that tackle.
Yeah, this time of year, man, that injury list is growing.
Obviously a nightmare for a kicker.
Yeah.
Lower extremity.
No doubt. At least it looked like it was his non-kicking leg. If there's any solace in it. How about the last 3 drives for Florida State? 5 plays, 75 yards, touchdown. 13 plays, touchdown. 9 plays, touchdown. They need another one of those here to salt this one away. Castellanos has his receiver. The Duce is loose again. His big night continues. Another 18 for 0.
Coming up a little gimpy too with that right shoulder. He got tackled to the ground. He's going to stay out there. I don't know if they're trying to go tempo and didn't see that he wanted to sub out.
Sawchuk picks up 4. Now he's going to come out.
Not good. Yeah, that shoulder's old limp right there. Duce was a big baseball player coming out of high school. When he got to USC, there was talk that he might be a tight end. And usually anytime you're talking about a receiver being a tight end, it's only a matter of time before they get there and their body matures to that level. You can see the height and the reason why that's the case. Good on him, and it speaks to how great of an athlete he is that, hey, there's no question about it. He's a big-time receiver.
Sawchuk. Check it, that's Singleton. Into the second level, picks up the first down. Robinson goes under the 10. Coach Norvell called him a combination of Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman. Good grief.
What a luxury it is to have those guys to recruit Duce Robinson. Say, hey, come in this offense. We got Gus Malzahn. Deep shots down the field is going to be part of the identity of this offense. And oh, by the way, the 2 previous big-bodied receivers that we've had, Johnny Wilson came from Arizona State. Keon Coleman coming from Michigan State.
They're in the NFL right now.
Not too shabby.
Johnny Wilson recovering from an injury he suffered this past summer. You certainly hope he recovers and rejoins the Eagles, I believe.
It really is the perfect offense, too, for Duce Robinson because it's so run-heavy. Opposing defenses more often than not have to roll an extra safety into the box, meaning you're going to get a lot of one-on-one coverage on the outside. Not a lot of too high safety looks with this run-heavy offense, so when you are throwing it, that's why you're getting the deep shots down the field.
Castellanos has all kinds of room to run. He picks up a first down. Amari Copeland forced him out of the pocket. When you talk to coaches about defending him, they say, we want to get him off his spot, but we want to keep him in a cone.
It's like, good luck with that. You want to keep him off his spot, but then also we want to contain him.
Just make him stay in a larger spot.
I don't know if Florida State's had a negative offensive play outside of penalties this entire game. No sacks, that's for sure. I don't think a negative rush. If so, very few.
Yeah, just 2 TFLs in the entire game for this Hokie defense as Singleton just powers over the middle for a couple. So Hokie defense, we've mentioned it on several occasions tonight. They've bowed their backs when they get in there into the red zone, but man, how many times can you say that before you completely wear down?
Good to see Duce Robinson coming out of the tent. He's going to be on the top of your screen.
2nd and 8. Singleton back in motion in the backfield. Castellanos keeps. Got one man to beat, and he beats him.
The speed from Castellanos on full display. Little zone read concept beats the end of the edge. This time he's not throwing to Duce Robinson. He's having Duce Robinson lead block for him. Excellent job too. He bows out and doesn't allow Jason Abbey, the linebacker for Virginia Tech, to have the angle, trusting his speed, trusting that he's gonna outrun you to the corner. Haven't talked a ton about Castellanos' legs today. It's been more about Drones, but right there, they're on full display.
Weinberg lets it fly for the touchback. Virginia Tech now down on first down throughout this entire game. With a big play here. Drones to throw. He's got time, all kinds of time, going deep, trying to get it to Green, and he almost circled under it. Earl Little was able to come over from that rover spot and get a piece of it, but Green looked like he was almost getting behind the defense.
Yeah, that's Drones just trying to give his guy a chance. That's into double coverage, and he's trusting that his guy's going to come into it. There's a corner to the right, safety to the left. At that point, it's flyers up, recess style. Lucky that Little didn't come down with it.
Or Green. Could have been either one. Gosnell in motion. Give it to Hawkins. Tries to cut back. James Williams meets him in the hole.
He's a guy's name we haven't said today. Been active in the backfield. Was out last week versus Clemson. Game changer when he's healthy. Very much in pass rush situations. Right there, being firm in the rush defense.
Drones with the empty backfield, gonna throw. That ball looked like it either got tipped or came out of his hand wrong. Had no chance to get it to Takai Heath, and now it's 4th down.
If it did get tipped, it was our man from earlier, Mandrell Desir. Based off Drones' body language, though, I think that just got away from him. Frustrated with himself after that call. 4th and 6, though. Gotta go for it. Got to pick it up as well.
Noles bring just 3. Drones still bouncing around back there. He's gonna try and pick it up with his legs, and he won't get there. He's gonna be about 1.5 yards short. Mandrell Desir was there on the stop.
What an effort by Desir, too. For Drones to break the pocket, Desir to stick with it and track him down.
Castellanos setting up the screen. Duce. You hear the crowd chanting Duce down to the 20. Showed you what Florida State has been able to do in their last 4 drives. Touchdowns on each and every one of them. It took some time off that clock as well.
Haven't punted today. Touchdowns instead of field goals, and then a lot of those drives creeping up to double-digit play-wise. Definitely the case in the first half. Just been incredibly efficient. Mike Norvell has to like the way his offense has responded after the game last week versus Clemson.
Chroma on the carry. This good-looking freshman. Gets about 3. Duce Robinson, incidentally, has gone over 100 yards now in 3 straight games. Got 134 yards receiving in the touchdown today. There's a good-looking Chroma.
That'll be his 5th 100-yard receiving game of the year.
Castellanos wants to run that play clock down. Chroma cuts it back inside. Caleb Spencer makes sure he only gets a yard out of it.
We said the coaches trust Chroma more and more every single week he plays. To have a true freshman in the backfield at this scenario in the game, where worst case scenario is a fumble, missed assignment, speaks to the elevated trust they have in this young man.
Castellanos under center, sprints right, goes to the end zone, just overshoots McCoy. That'll bring in Weinberg.
Rolling out Castellanos. Just missed him, just overthrown. Trying to catch Virginia Tech there a little bit. They were messed up communication-wise, substitution-wise. Looked like defensive tackles weren't sure who was supposed to be on, who was supposed to be off. We haven't seen Gilliam, their starting defensive tackle, return in this game.
This will be a 34-yard attempt. Weinberg missed from 34 earlier. Not this time, though. The Noles extend their lead to 20 at the 4:12 mark of this Friday night on ESPN at 8 o'clock, and then at Florida Saturday after Thanksgiving. Coming up next, the ACC Huddle final score. Problems with NC State. They're looking good right at the perfect time to look good here at the end of November. Drones has a receiver. Big hit. Selden hangs on. 19 yards. Earl Little's had a couple of hits today where we heard him all the way up here.
Oh yeah, it's an excellent throw by Drones too. Throws like that have continued the belief in Kyron Drones. But yeah, Earl Little said no one benefited more on this defense by the switch in defensive coordinator to Tony White. His scheme is perfect for zero.
Drones has time, hurls it downfield, just well overthrows Snook Peterkin.
Peterkin's another one of those true freshmen. Expecting to call his name a little bit more today.
Second down for Drones. Then fakes it to Stewart. Has time. Now he's looking to run it. Gets it to midfield and steps out of bounds. For Virginia.
Back half of this month of November. Keep an eye on maybe coaching announcements. Virginia Tech's been in the market for quite some time. Maybe something happens this week or next.
Yeah, Pete Thamel was reporting earlier today that James Franklin was having conversations with Virginia Tech.
Feels like that'd be a home run hire for Virginia Tech for sure. He was rumored in that mold the second that Penn State let him go. James Franklin's recruited the state of Virginia very well when he was at Penn State, to Virginia Tech's detriment at some time. Let's repeat that blueprint. James Franklin with a chip on his shoulder would be interesting too.
Drones trying to pick up the fourth down, won't do it. One final time on the night, the Seminole defense steps up. Blake Nicholson. And Earl Little, of course, involved. You mentioned it before, the spine of that defense. That's what Tony White wants to build his defense around, right up the middle. Cryer, Nicholson at linebacker, and Earl Little at the rover.
Excellent job right up the front, right up the middle. KJ Sampson, 56 at the point of attack, knowing what they're trying to do on 4th and short. Virginia Tech's had some success in the run game, but Florida State buckles down when they need to.
Brock Glenn coming in at quarterback for the Noles. And he'll look to throw on first down. Finds a receiver on the out pattern. That's Willie Suarez.
Good looking throw right there by Glenn, far side of the field, 6'2", 217. Redshirt sophomore, Tommy Castellanos. He walked out for senior day today. Open spot next year.
2 minutes time.
Jersey, one guy in front of you. I respect it. That guy's kept the jersey on. He's a true fan.
Chroma. Still on his feet. Bouncing off a tackler. Spins down at the 27. Glenn keeps it around the edge. He's about a yard shy of the first down. Was Sheldon Robinson, one of those freshman safeties, forcing him out of bounds.
It's tough for any interim head coach to take over a program, obviously, but especially nowadays with the transfer portal, NIL era, you know, your team's getting all sorts of distractions about their future and having to navigate that. And Philip Montgomery, he only got there in February. Usually the interim head coach is a guy that's been there for multiple years. New offensive coordinator and new defensive coordinator.
Roma takes a big hit, but picks up the first down.
Really is the downside of the college football calendar. These programs are forced to make decisions on their head coach in season because, you know, early signing day and early signing periods in December, have to think towards the future already mid-season in September, October, November. Good job by Philip Montgomery, at least keeping this thing together, keeping this team fighting and competing.
Give to Cam Davis. Had a couple of Hokies miss in the backfield. Only able to pick up 1 yard. Brennan Johnson, Peanut, in on the tackle as we go under a minute to play.
I do think Virginia Tech's one of the programs, they've been on the market for a long time. You mentioned it, let go of Brent Pry week 3. They could be one of these programs that's the first to announce a decision of all the openings, which has been well documented throughout the landscape of college football. No one's made a decision yet. Stanford's obviously been in the market for 6-7 months. Them and Virginia Tech could be, if I was a betting man, one of those two schools might be first.
That looks like that's going to be the final snap of the night. For Mike Norvell and the Noles, final home game of the season. Put a W on the board and keep their bowl hopes alive. 1 win away from becoming bowl eligible. For Matt